Delaware forms task force on transport funding. Delaware Governor Matt Meyer has signed an executive order creating a new task force on sustainable transportation funding, aimed at addressing the long-term financial challenges of the state's Transportation Trust Fund, TTF, a cornerstone of infrastructure investment since 1987. Our roads and bridges connect Delawareans to jobs, schools, healthcare, and each other, Governor Meyer said during the signing on October 3, 2025. But we face real challenges, from aging infrastructure to climate resiliency. This task force, led by Secretary of Transportation Shante Hastings, will aim to chart a sustainable path forward for Delaware, so we can continue to build safe, modern, and resilient transportation networks that serve every community. A 20-year outlook on revenue and resilience. The TTF, established nearly 4 decades ago, has been essential for construction, maintenance, and system improvements. However, state forecasts show that traditional fuel tax revenues are no longer sufficient as EV adoption accelerates and vehicles become more fuel efficient. According to the Delaware Department of Transportation, DelDOT, motor fuel tax collections have plateaued, while costs related to materials, construction labor, and climate resiliency projects continue to rise. The newly formed task force will collaborate with public and private stakeholders to assess these long-term trends, review the financial health of the TTF, and explore new funding mechanisms that could include alternative fuel registration fees, mileage-based user fees, MUFs, or public-private partnerships, P3s. Transportation funding is not just about keeping our roads paved. It's about ensuring safe travel, supporting economic growth, and meeting the mobility needs of every Delawarean, said Secretary Hastings, who will chair the task force. This task force will bring Delawareans together to think creatively and work with partners across sectors to deliver a transportation system that is equitable, sustainable, and ready for the future. Composition and timeline. The task force will include at least 18 members, representing a cross-section of state and local leadership: Office of Management and Budget, Director Brian Maxwell; Finance Secretary Michael Smith; 4 members of the Delaware General Assembly, representatives from local unions, business leaders, and infrastructure experts. The group's first meeting is scheduled for October 2025, with a final report due in December 2026. Recommendations will guide Delaware's long-term strategy for balancing infrastructure investment, sustainability, and equity. The broader funding challenge. Delaware's approach mirrors moves by other states, including Oregon, Utah, and Virginia, that have launched similar reviews or pilot programs to stabilize transportation revenues amid declining fuel tax receipts. The Delaware Council on Transportation and DelDOT have also noted that climate-driven repairs, extreme weather adaptation, and expanded EV infrastructure are now core components of transportation planning. Without new funding sources, DelDOT projects that the TTF could face a structural imbalance within the next decade, particularly as EVs and hybrids are projected to make up 27% of new vehicle sales by 2030, according to Bloomberg NEF estimates. You've been listening to Sustainability Soundbites presented by E+E Leader. For partnership opportunities, reach out to a member of our team.